up, it's Steve from that old Yorkshire geek, and welcome to Friday night, A Poem with Fear, on a Saturday. But if you're not watching this live, you're watching this at another time, it doesn't really matter, does it? But whatever. I couldn't do it live on a Friday this week because of family commitments, shall we say. Anyway, we're on episode number 99. It says there, look now if you can make it out. Number 99, just one more till next week. And then we're on 100. Crikey Moses. Anyway, right, so this week we're doing Annabelle from the Conjuring universe. I'm not the biggest fan of the Conjuring films, to be completely honest, but I do like the Annabelle films, which kind of makes me weird because everybody else thinks the Annabelle films are rubbish. But I quite like this one. I quite like Annabelle, so that's what we're doing tonight. Right, so let's get some. But before we start, don't forget, like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. Wingrace says, Happy Friday, everyone, because it's Friday. Dear. Where were we? Right, we're live on YouTube. Let me double check. We're live on YouTube. Yes, we are. Yes, it never says live when you click on that. Anyway, we're live on YouTube, we're live on Rumble, and we're live on Twitch. Yep, we're live on all those platforms. Later on, I'll upload to Spotify, Amazon Music podcasts. I've got I'm also on Facebook, X. I forgot how to speak then. I'm also on Facebook, X, and Instagram. Links in the description. As I links me 2 books. They're underneath loads of these. They're underneath loads of Blu-rays. That's what we're doing. We're not watching The Conjuring. We're watching. Where are we? Where is it? Tiny little picture there. Can you see it? There we go. We're watching Annabelle. There we go. That's what we're watching tonight. Obviously, we're not just watching it because, YouTube are going mental. I said this every week, but for some reason, people think that they're here to watch a film. But I'm not. I'm just going to talk about it and try and remember the factoids about this film. We'll watch it in a series of stills, and I may play the odd snippet. Right, so, what else? Right, okay, that's about it, isn't it? Alright, I've also got a Patreon page and a merch page where you can get t-shirts like this. I know it's not... It looks better when it hasn't got a light shining on it. But Friday Night Poem with Fear t-shirt. And there's other t-shirts as well, and caps, and, bags, and... sweatshirts, hoodies, blah, 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 all that stuff. Mugs, stickers, coasters, blah, blah, blah. Go check it out, and if you like something, buy it. Anyway, right, is that it? We're done. Memberships. I've also got memberships open on the YouTube channel, so go and join and see some exclusive videos and exclusive posts on the community page and early access. Yes, and be a member, because Wingrace is a member. Me only member so far. But thank you. Anyway, also, super chats, and super thanks, throw them in my direction. See if I can get a payment from YouTube at some point. If I hit the threshold, the lowest threshold that they'll pay you. Anyway, right, so, Annabelle from 2014. Directed by John R. Leonetti. You may know that name. He's got a famous brother. His older brother is I forgot his bloody name now. Also called Leonetti. Matthew F. Leonetti, who's done many films, cinematography. John R. Leonetti started in cinematography. He was the cameraman essentially on the other Conjuring films, but he's also directed stuff like Mortal Kombat Annihilation and other things. Hang on, I've got a list here. He's directed Wolves at the Door an episode of Sleepy Hollow, the TV series, Butterfly Effect 2, and he was the cinematographer on such films as Piranha 3D and Insidious, one of my favourite horror films. A 0 Hour and Insidious Chapter 2, and also the Sleepy Hollow TV series. So there we go. Anyway, right. It was written by Gary Dauberman, who has become quite popular recently, doing films, screenwriting films. He did the 2 Nun films, The Nun and The Nun 2, which I thought the second one was really good. I'm a big fan of the first one, but I thought the second one really good. Also in the Conjuring universe, aren't they? He did Annabelle Creation. He did the 2 It films from Andy Machete. He wrote those. the Swamp Thing TV series, Annabelle Comes Home, Wolves at the Door, which I think were directed by John Alianetti, and a few other things. So there we go. Oh, and he's doing the upcoming Salem's Lot movie. So there we go. So that's Gary Doberman and John Alianetti. What else? It stars Annabelle Wallis, no relation to the doll. Ward Horton, who really looks like somebody, and I can't think who he really looks like. I know he looks like Ward Horton, but he looks like somebody else, and I can't think who he looks like. But anyway, and Alfred Woodard and oh god, my brain's bloody not working today. Tell me, I'm pligging hopeless. Tony Amendola stars Tony Amendola, and some other people that I've never heard of. Oh no, it's also got Joseph Bishara as the demon. You remember him? He played the demon, the lipstick-faced demon in Insidious, and he's here again playing another demon. And he also does the music for the film, as well as. Right, it had a budget of $6.5 million, and it grossed at the box office $257.6 million, so it did pretty well. It was a success, shall we say. But I don't think it got good reviews, critical response, generally negative reviews. I liked it from the beginning. I like it, and I've always said I like this film more than The Conjuring. The Conjuring didn't do it for me. I think it's because it doesn't have the Warrens in it. I don't like the Warrens. I'm not a huge expert on Lorraine and Ed Warren, but there's something about them that I thought, no, I don't believe them. The con artists, but who knows? But anyway, they've done quite well for themselves, although they've both passed away. Right, so let's get on with it, shall we? Is that it? Is that about it? Yeah, we'll get on with the film, shall we? Right, so I'll make myself titchy tiny. Down in the corner, there I go. I've got to do this. There we go, get rid of them. And we'll get the film going, and we'll try and remember stuff about it. I watched it on Thursday, because I was thinking I might be able to do the Friday night appointment with Fear, but it never happened on yesterday. So I watched it again today. It's a really good film. I really like it. Right, off we jolly well go. Make sure it's going to come on. I bet I forgot to mute it. Did I? Are you coming on? Hello? Hello, mute. Oh, here it comes. Did I forget? Yes, I did forget to mute it. There we go. Hey. By the way, this Warner Brothers logo that's going to do this thing here, have they done this for any other studios? Because it goes to Warner Brothers and then, oh, Pete's sake. Then it transmogrifies, it breaks up and becomes the New Line logo. Have they done that for any other, of their partner companies or whatever you want to call them? I don't know. A can artist. No, not everything's got to do with Star Trek, Wingrace. Anyway. Right, so we're off. Here we go. Since the beginning of civilization. Always, when I see this red writing, I always think of beginning of Highlander. So I'm imagining Sean Connery's voice coming on. Since the beginning of civilization, dolls have been beloved by children, cherished by collectors, and used in religious rites as conduits for good and evil. And then we begin. There we go. We see Abigail, Annabelle, the doll. Obviously, they designed a new doll because the Abigail. What does it keep saying Abigail for? Because there's a film called Abigail that's not too bad. The Annabelle doll is a real doll. Don't know if it's really possessed or haunted, however you want to call it. But they redesigned it for the Conjuring universe because the actual doll, which are meant to get a... hang on, I'm going to have to get rid of this now to show you what the real Annabelle doll looks like if you don't know. I've got a picture of it. I forgot to get it ready because I'm an idiot. There we go. Right. Just let me sort myself out. Here we go. Right. Pop that back up. There we go. That's the real life Annabelle doll. A Raggedy Ann doll. So it's not scary looking whatsoever. So I thought, I suppose we better make a scary looking doll. There it is in the Warrens' basement, whatever, museum, I suppose you could call it. Warning, positively do not open. Why positive? Absolutely. But anyway, whatever. So there we go. Right, where were we? So here we are, here with the doll. And we're beginning 1970, by the way. We're seeing... hang on, make sure we're going. Here we go. The young people that have got the doll. It were some nurses that had Annabelle in 1970. A gift from her mother. Now, you can imagine, fair enough, the proper Annabelle doll, because it's quite, a nice doll, isn't it? Just looks normal. But if my mother... Hang on, see if it shows her. See if it shows the doll. Oh, they're talking about, by the way, the doll used to move about, allegedly. And in this part now, they're speaking to Ed and Lorraine Warren, but they don't show them in this film. Maybe they couldn't afford them, I don't know, but... here we go. It's going to show. Is it going to show the doll again in a minute? But there we go. If somebody bought me that, I'd have said, "What you bought me that bloody thing for?" I know they're supposed to be collectors, but anyway, probably don't have the rights to that anyway. The Raggedy Ann doll, probably not. Although there is a Raggedy Ann doll in this film at the very end. I'll point it out to you. And there might be one earlier on in the film as well, but I'm not sure. There's like a doll in the background. And I think, is that a Raggedy Ann doll, a small one? I don't know. If I land on it, I'll point it out. But there's definitely one at the end. Anywho, so there we go. So we begin 1970. These two nurses, they're handing over Annabelle to Ed and Lorraine Warren, telling them that it's super scary, because it looks super scary. It's been through the wars, so to speak, and then we begin. There we go. Annabelle, and we're seeing a gargoyle, which is what they based the demon that we see, which is called Malthus in this film. We see it in the other Annabelle films as well. Let's say in the Conjuring it was Bathsheba, and the nun was Vala, and there's another one in there as well, going somewhere. Oh, La Llorona. But in the Annabelle universe, it's Malthus. Anywho, that movie scared me as a kid anyway. The Taffy Monster. Which one's that? The Taffy Monster. I don't know that one. Right, so we begin. And this seems to be inside a church, this one. It looks to be anyway to me. Unless it's at night and the lights are on inside the church. Because we see a similar looking gargoyle. It may be the same one outside, on the outside of the church. But anyway. By the way, we can hear whispering voices over this to make it extra spooky. There are some good spooky things in this. There's some jump scares, and they're usually quite effective jump scares in this. I hate jump scares that are there for no reason other than to make you jump, and they've got nothing to do with the story. But in this, they do kind of work. So they're nicely interspersed throughout the film. The Raggedy Ann and Andy Moore. Never seen it. I didn't even know there was one. I'd never even heard of a Raggedy Ann doll before I saw this. Before I saw the Conjuring films. I didn't even know. Anyway, right. Off we go. Santa Monica, California, 1 year earlier. So it's set in 1969. So there we go. There's Tek Mate, Master Braytak. That's Tony Amendola. That's Father Perez, the religious chap of the film. And there was these are the forms, John and Mia, form played by Annabelle Wallis, who's an English actress. In this film, kind of, she either reminds me of, I've forgotten the bloody name, me and bloody names, the 13th Doctor, Doctor Who, God, the bloody God, Jodie Whittaker, or Naomi Watts. But anyway, she's Annabelle Wallis, and that's Ward Horton, and he does look like, he looks like somebody, and I can't think who he looks like. Anyway, right. So anyway, they're in church. They're a religious couple. They go to church regularly, and so there we go. So he's doing a sermon, and right. So after the service, this is Pete, and he's their neighbour. He's the neighbour of John and Mia. It is John, isn't it? Yeah, I'm sure it's John. So they are talking to them, and he says, "Where's his wife?" I forgot his wife's name. Fiona, maybe? Can't remember. I'll have to look it up. Doesn't bloody say. Pete Higgins. Sharon. It's Pete Higgins, and she's called Sharon Higgins. Right. By the way, I forgot at the beginning. Then they were talking about the doll. The nurses at the beginning in 1970. They were saying that a medium had told them that the spirit in the doll was the ghost of a young girl called Annabelle Higgins, who owned the doll and lost her life, and her spirit went into the doll. So there we go. I think in real life, somebody had said, a medium had said, that I don't know if they gave her a last name, but they said a girl called Annabelle in the 1800s, I think 1860 or something like that, her spirit were in a doll. But in this film, that's not the case. But anyway, that's a clue anyway. Annabelle Higgins. So this is Pete Higgins. So, and we learn that his daughter has run away to be with a cult. Because remember, this is the time, the late 60s, we've got the Mansons and all that stuff going on. There's Sharon Higgins, she's praying. So she said, did Pete send me to find you? She says yes. So he thinks he's worried I'm going to go running off as well. So she's a grown up, by the way, is Annabelle Higgins. She's run off to be with the cult. I forgot the name, what they call them. We'll find out later. No, it's not the cult of Set. Well, as far as I know, I don't know. We never see actually, and we only see two members of them. So for all we know, it could be. Anyway, so here they come back home. I don't know where this was filmed. I've looked up the filming locations on IMDb, and it doesn't say. It just says Los Angeles. And the move from this house, this is the farmhouse on the left, and the Higgins house on the right. But later on in the film, the move to the Langham Apartments. And it says that in the filming locations, but it doesn't say where this was. So maybe it's a backlot, I don't know, or maybe it's a real street. I have no idea. Right, so anyway, so here they are. They've arrived home, and they're all, they get on with the neighbours, which is nice. Nice when you get on with your neighbours, innit? And she's asking about names, because, by the way, Mia's pregnant. I forgot to mention that. Mia's very pregnant. She's not only pregnant, she's very pregnant. Win Grace knows that reference. And John just says, we've been thinking about Phyllis. John, if it's a boy, because, Americans have always got to name the kids after themselves. Anyway, never mind. And Phyllis, if it's a girl. And Mia says, we're not calling the girl Phyllis, because it's after my grandmother. He must have two grandmothers. So why would he pick the grandmother that everybody hates? Because that's what they say. Everybody hates Phyllis, his grandmother. So why would he name his daughter after the grandmother that everybody hates? Anyway, whatever. There you go. They'll all have a laugh about it. Right, so anyway, they're going in. Right, so in they go into the house. Yes, and he's talking about... Shouldn't have mentioned it. She says, shouldn't have mentioned it so soon after losing their daughter. And he says, they didn't lose her. She ran off to join a cult. She ran off with the hippies. He says she's probably married to 12 men and changed her name to Star or something. But, there you go. And he says, well, even Star's a better name than Phyllis. Anyway, right. So, passage of time. We see that she does sewing. We see she's on her sewing machine. There she is, and she's watching telly. And I presume it's the news because they're talking about. I think they're talking about the Mansons, the Manson cult. They've all been arrested and all that stuff after the Tate murder and other stuff. So that's what she's watching, and John's doing it. John is a med student. He's getting ready to pass whatever it is that they pass to become a doctor. The bar. I know that's lawyers. But he said, can you turn that off, love? It's putting me off. So she goes and turns it off. She gets heavily pregnant, and she ends up walking across the room because I haven't got remote. So she turns the telly off. And then she gets cross with him because he starts talking about, how he's worrying about, what's coming up and the world seems a crazy place, in 1969, I suppose. But, man's landed on the moon. That's a good thing. He don't mention that. But anyway. and then it says, it's going to be difficult, bringing up a baby, and then he's going to be, probably working a lot because he's going to be a junior doctor or whatever they call him over there. And it upsets her. The way, there we go, difficult. So she gets the monk on and goes away. And he says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that." And here they are in the nursery. And I'm sure there's a doll in here somewhere that's a Raggedy Ann. I could be wrong though. I'm sure we see one in the background at some point. So he apologises and all that stuff. And he apologises by giving her a present. So he goes. He says, "Just hold on there." And he brings in a big box. Here it comes, and he opens up the box, and there we go. It's Annabelle. They don't call it that, obviously. They don't give it a name. In good condition, and apparently, because she collects dolls, as you might have noticed with all the dolls on shelves and stuff. She collects dolls, and she's been looking for this for a long time. God knows why. It's bloody awful. But anyway, so there we go. And it must have cost him a lot of money, because he says they're going to have to. They won't be able to pay the rent for a couple of months. Anyway, I'm sure there's a Raggedy Ann doll in there somewhere. But never mind. So she puts it on the shelf with the others. Look, all similar style. Look, So there it goes. So she's super happy now. Right, passage of time. Then it's night time. They're asleep in bed. She hears a noise. Is that it's Annabelle then? That's a real name. There's Mia. There we go. And we see the neighbours next door, Sharon and Pete. We see somebody get in their house. Bad things happen. We see a splash of blood. Oh no, what's happened? Somebody's attacking them. She hears a scream, wakes her up. He says, "John, I heard a scream from next door." So he goes to check it out. And I thought from here we were going to get one long cut, a long take of the things that are about to unfold, but it doesn't. So we're fed up about that. But there is a long take, but it's not as long as I thought it was going to be. Because the camera's following them here, as you can see, and out the door. And I thought, right, we're just going to stay this one long take all the way through this section of the film. We'll call it the attack. But it doesn't, because it cuts away. She looks. There you go. We get a cut away, and I don't know why. I don't know why they felt they had to do that. Because I think they did film it in one long take, with her going out. She goes next door. John comes running out covered in blood, tells her to go in, phone for an ambulance. He says it's not my blood, and she goes back in, she runs back in, and and the camera's following. It's all one long take. For some reason, they've broken it up with a reaction shot. I don't know why, but anyway. So there he goes call an ambulance. So she goes back in. It's all one long take now, for a while, not to the end of the film, just for a while. So she goes in. Phones an ambulance. Then we see in the background there, somebody in the house already. Oh, I forgot to mention earlier as well. When they got back home, John just opened the door, and she said, "Didn't you lock it?" He said, "Yeah, why should I?" And she says, "The world's a different place." So, obviously, before 1969, people never locked the doors. But now we see in the background, a figure in the background, which gets repeated later on in the film. In an even spookier way. There she's phoning an ambulance. Anyway, so she goes. Hang on, missed a bit. She goes into her bedroom to put on her dressing gown. And before she does that, see there she's. This is Annabelle Higgins, by the way. Just found they did that in Stargate. Jonas did that whole underwater scene in one take. Which underwater scene? I can't remember. But they broke it up with close-up shots of him doing things with his hands. It's crazy, isn't it? They've got all that trouble of doing one long take, and then they break it up. I'm trying to remember which underwater scene you're on about. Can't remember. The only underwater scene I can remember is Stargate is the one with Jack, where he's got to pull a lever. I think that's and I think that's Atlantis, isn't it? I think where he's with Wolsey, and he had to pull a lever, and he swam back up. And he said, "Did it do anything?" He says, "Yes, but you've got to hold the lever down." So but that's the only underwater scene I can remember. Oh, and the one where Rodney's trapped in the puddle jumper under the water. Anyway, whatever. Not Stargate. But yeah, it's weird, isn't it? And they do long takes. They do oneers and then cut it up with reaction shots and stuff like that, or inserts. Mental. Anyway, right. Annabelle Higgins is here. And she's got the Annabelle doll. It's not called Annabelle yet. Hang on, where are we now? Right, so she's there. And there we go. But she hasn't seen her. Mia hasn't seen her yet. So she puts a dressing gown on. And then she turns around, and then we hear this whispery voice. There we go. "I like your dolls." And we're like, because it's done in a really spooky way. Hang on, I'll play it. I'll go back again. And I'll unmute it. It probably won't do it now. Have we got volume up? Yes, we have. "I like your dolls." I don't know if you could hear that. Really quiet but spooky. I'll mute it again. After the Goa'uld ship with Thor's brain crashed into the Atlantic. All right. I can't really remember. I'm sure I'm getting Alzheimer's. I struggle remembering stuff. I really do. I'd probably see it and think, "Oh yeah, of course that bit." But it's, I can't even think of that word now. Tell you, don't mind. Carry on doing this. Creepy. Yes. Anywho, there we go. So she's seen it now. Says, "Yeah, what do you want?" There we go. "My husband's coming back." And then as she's distracted, in comes this other fella, who I don't think we ever find out his name. I could be wrong, but I don't think we do. He comes in behind her, looks covered in blood, and he stabs her in the belly. Stabs a pregnant lady in the belly. Then she falls to the floor, obviously. John comes running in and tackles the fella, fighting away. She sees that knife there. The knife gets dropped on the floor, by the way. She sees the knife. But then Annabelle comes in. Hang on. There we go. She picks up the knife, but John tackles her as well. But then the other fella, Mia keeps checking. We see she's bleeding and stuff. Don't worry, she'll be fine. Anyway, the other fella picks up like a vase or something and starts beating John with it. And then Annabelle, she must notice something's amiss, and she picks up the knife and runs off. There you go, she runs off. Oh, no, it ain't. I saw that, because it happens quite quickly. I saw that, I thought, is that a Raggedy Ann doll? But it ain't, is it? It isn't. I thought that was a Raggedy Ann doll. In the chair, the rocking chair that we see later on, but it isn't. Sorry. Anyway, right, where were we? Right, so she runs off. She picks up the knife and runs off. And then this fella's going to bray her now. He's going to bray me with the vase. I'll do the American pronunciation. But then a policeman's arrived and shoots him 3 times. Bang, bang, bang. There we go. So that's the end of him. I don't know if he's got a name. I don't know. Let's have a look, see if he's got a name. Let's have a look. I've no idea. Don't know. There are people uncredited with names, but I don't know if it's them. It doesn't say. Annabelle Higgins. Where's Annabelle Higgins? It doesn't even say. She hasn't even got a bloody credit on IMDb. Mia John, Father Perez, Evelyn, Sharon Higgins, Pete Higgins, Detective Clark, and blah, blah, blah. Neighbour, little boy, little girl, who we see later, who I think might be ghosts or something, or manifestations of the demon. I don't know, but anyway. Young Annabelle Higgins, yes, we see her. I reckon it's because I think this her that plays Annabelle Higgins in this is a stunt person. I'm sure I've seen it somewhere. Where have I seen it? Might be on Wikipedia. I'm gonna have to look it up. Trio Tool played Annabelle Higgins, and I think she's a stunt woman. I think. Oh, pardon me. But I still don't know who played the chap. Does it say? No, it just says a man. The Higgins Killers. No, anyway, whatever. Right, so that's the end of him. There we go. There you go. They're saying, the police saying, open the door, because Annabelle's locked herself in the room with all the dolls, in the nursery. She's locked herself in there. And they kick the door in, and we see that she's ended herself and done something else as well. But as Mia is wheeled out, the ambulance has arrived. There we go. She looks over and she sees that Annabelle is dead with the doll on her lap, and she's killed herself, but she's also smeared, there you go, a sigil on the wall. It's supposed to look like an A, which it does look like an A for Annabelle. It's also supposed to be like some form of pentagram sort of thing, in like a 5-pointer style, like the goat horns and all that stuff. It's supposed to be like that, a demonic symbol. So anyways, that's what she sees. Oh, there we get a better look there. And then we get a bit of CG in a minute as they're moving on Annabelle, because a bit of CG blood. I don't know why they had to do this. I suppose it's just to show that Annabelle Higgins's essence is going into the doll, but there we go, in it goes. It just reminds me of the X-Files, with the black oil. It just reminds me of that, because it just looks too slimy. Right, then we cut to news and papers and stuff telling us all about it. There we go. They had these belts on. Oh, that fella had a belt on or whatever, with a ram's head on. Of course, that's the devil. Right, so there we go. And we learned that it was Annabelle Higgins that murdered her family. They're a strange daughter, but it never tells us who the fella is. It just says it's her boyfriend. Does it say what the name of the cult is? It might be later on. It just says a cult. Yeah. Anyway. Right. Then we're at a hospital or a doctor's or whatever, and the doctor, I don't know, the baby doctor, what do they call them? Baby doctors. Whatever. He's doing what they call them? Not sonography. Ultrasound, that's it. An ultrasound thing. But apparently, I don't know, but I was watching this and I thought, 'cause it shows the ultrasound. If I go back, Pete's sake, it shows it. There we go, on the screen there, giving it all like they do. And I didn't think ultrasounds were that common back then. But I looked it up, and they've been around since the 50s. But then I've seen elsewhere that the technology's been around for quite a while. They didn't really start being used in British hospitals until the late 70s and 80s. I think it said that, and even later in America they became more common. So maybe they've just got a super ace doctor who's got all the latest technology. But anyway, so we're learning that the baby's fine, but he's going to put her on bed rest. So she's for the rest of her pregnancy, but she's allowed to get up and down to go to the loo and stuff like that. But otherwise, she's to take it easy and not upset the baby. But apart from that, everything's fine. Right, so they go back home, back to their house. She tells him to lock the door, which he does. And she's looking around the house. Obviously, she's traumatised by it all. I don't know how long she's been in hospital, but time enough for him to get the house cleaned up. Because he says there, I had them scrub everything at least twice. So they've got all the blood out of everything. And they've even scrubbed Annabelle, apparently. But she's fallen out with that doll now, by the way. Anywho. So, what's he doing here? Oh, he's wheeling the telly in, because she's got to stay in bed, so he's taking the telly into the bedroom. It was in his den before, but now it's in the bedroom. So, obviously she's worried about stuff, but she does a lot of gazing off at the horizon, 1,000-yard stare and all that. Because, like I said, she's traumatised. And she's super pretty. I think she is, anyway. Like I said, got a Naomi Watts. Sometimes, I forgot her name again. Jodie Whittaker looked to her, but anyway. And she does a decent American accent. Not that I'm an American and know much about them, but she sounds fine. And I just wish I could think of who he reminds me of. Or maybe I've seen him in something else, and I don't know what. I should look him up, shouldn't I? Let's have a look. Maybe he's just got a face that I've seen him in something else. Ward Horton. The name doesn't ring a bell. What have I seen him in? Annabelle. Wolf of Wall Street, which I've never seen. No, nothing. Annabelle Creation is in. Oh, playing the same character. No, nothing jumping out at me. Oh, we were in Fringe, TV series. What else? Looks like he did a lot of TV stuff, a lot of what they call them, Hallmark stuff, Christmas wish list, stuff like that. Hope and Faith. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I've seen him in. Anywho, never mind. He just looks familiar. Right, so, but they're still in love and he's going to look after her. Oh, she says, promise me, if something happens to me, you'll look after the baby. And he says, oh, nothing's going to happen to you. Oh, yes, I promise, but nothing's going to happen to you. Which is foreshadowing for later. Right, they're bloody ugly ornaments, aren't they? The 60s, I suppose. Right, so here we are. Showing the house. I think it's supposed to be at night. All asleep. And the mobile is going to start, there we go, playing a lullaby. Which apparently is the theme for the Conjuring, I think. I don't know, because I can't remember the theme for the Conjuring, but I think it says that in the trivia. Well, by the way, I've got notes again. Ellen DeGeneres. Oh, we haven't got there yet, so never mind. I'll say it when I do it. The character names Mia and John refer to the lead actors in Rosemary's Baby. Mia Farrow and John Cassavetes, which I think were overrated. It's a good film, I like it, but I don't think it's as amazing as people make it out. But anyway, the movie, obviously, if you don't know Rosemary's Baby, the movie's about a young, well-to-do couple in a luxury apartment having a baby in combination with Satanists going for mother and child. The frequent noise of the neighbours in an adjacent apartment is a nod to the same movie, which we see later on. Or we hear later on, but that's a weird thing as well. I'll mention it when we get there. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, whatever. Right, okay. We shall continue. Right, it starts playing by itself because we're all spooky. Right, they hear a noise. They both wake up this time. They hear a noise, and it's obvious what the noise is. I'll see if we can hear it. Can't bloody hear it. Never mind. It says there, sewing machine rattling. That's what it is. Why is it so quiet? I don't know. Never mind. But they wake up, they hear the sewing machine rattling. But he's saying, what's that noise? So he goes and checks with a baseball bat. There we go. And he turns the light on. And sees it's the sewing machine started working by itself. I always confuse Rosemary's Baby with Sophie's Choice. I've heard of it, but I've never seen Sophie's Choice. I think I might have seen Hobson's Choice when I was a kid at one point. I think we read the book at school. Anyway, never mind. Oh, is that about a pig? Is it? I'm not seeing it, but let's say I've heard of it. Yeah, that's what they could hear, the sewing machine. Sewing machines baffle me. I tried using one not that long ago to fix something. Couldn't do it. Couldn't fathom it out. They're super confusing. Anybody who can use a sewing machine is a genius in my book. But anyway, it's going by itself. It mustn't have any thread on it because else there'd be thread all over it. It'd be all jammed up or whatever. But anyway, whatever. And but it just turns it off. He has a feel about for some reason. It just unplugs it, and then goes back to bed. And we don't see anything in the background as far as I know. Don't think we do. It's one of those films where sometimes you have to look out for things in the background. Figures standing there and stuff like that, but no. Yes, he goes to close this door. I don't know if it were open before or what, if it's opened itself, I don't know. But he goes to close the door, and we see that the Annabelle doll is suddenly behind the door. It's on the floor. It was on the shelf, wasn't it, last time we saw it? There you go. So looks around, curious, and pops it in the rocking chair. Rocking chairs are always creepy, aren't they? And it's rocking there because he's just put the doll in it, but it's not rocking by itself. But it does later, obviously. Chekhov's rocking chair, isn't it? Anyway, daytime. She's watching her soaps or whatever, doing some sewing. And so there we go. Oh my, then she hears the rocking chair. That's it. We hear the creaking of the rocking chair. There it is. And so she goes to check on it. And it's stopped, obviously, by the time she gets there. So she closed the door because she don't want to see it. And anyway, the telly. I forgot to mention that before. Let's go back again. There we go. The telly starts flickering, and it's obviously, you can tell the TV is not actually on. You can tell it's superimposed. It's even the interference on the telly doesn't look real, does it? It looks digital, even though it's supposed to be the 60s. Anyway, she shows what an amazing shot she is with whatever a book that she throws at it, because she hits the on-off button. Hang on. Oh, for Pete's sake. What a shot, eh? What a shot. Tell you. And that's when she hears the creaking, because the telly's off now, so she hears the creaking of the rocking chair, because rocking chairs are 100% spooky. So she's saying the telly went on the fritz and all that. And never did that in the den. So anyways, brought some goodies for her because she's pregnant and she'll have cravings. It's only just realised. I mean, she's like 20 months pregnant now, isn't she? But it's only just realised. She's brought her some Doritos and oranges and some popcorn. Easy Pop, which we'll see later. And obviously, because she's pregnant, she wants pickles and mustard. Ugh, bloody horrible, them things. I don't mind them sliced up like in the McDonald's on the Big Mac, but to eat, I like pickled onions. Pickled onions are amazing, but pickled cucumber or gherkins, no thanks. Anywho, this is where we learn is going to get offered a position at a hospital in Pasadena. I think it's Pasadena. So I don't know if they were planning to move there anyway, if we were going to commute. I don't know, because remember they're in Santa Monica. I don't know the distance. Between Santa Monica and Pasadena, but they end up moving there anyway. For reasons which we'll get to. There you go. We also learned that he's got to go to like some seminar or whatever. So he'll be away for a couple of days. Excuse me. So that, and then we noticed the door's open again. And Annabelle's changed her position. We never see her move. We do see her move, but we never see her move by herself, if you know what I mean. She's always, you cut back to her and in a different position. Oh dear. Right, where were we? She says she doesn't want that doll anymore because, Annabelle Higgins had the doll in her hands, she said, and she wants it gone. So John says, right, fair enough, I'll chuck it in the bin. So here he is, throwing it in the trash can, or dustbin as we call them over here. Off she goes, she's in the bin. There. Right, so here we are. I thought, that's a dirty cup, isn't it? Don't they ever wash it? But I think that's the design. I think it's some, the design of the pottery. Yes, it is. It's come to, tell them about this Detective Clarkin, by the way. Another actor that looks familiar, and I don't know if I've seen him in. Let's have a look. Detective Clarkin. Eric Ladin. What have I seen him in? Don't know. Have a look. TV, lots of TV stuff that I've not watched. Anything else? Anything I've seen? No. Oh, For All Mankind. Oh, right. Oh, he played Gene Kranz in For All Mankind. That's where I know him from then. Because I watch her For All Mankind. That's good, is that? Oh, we're in Phantom Menace as well. Oh, no, we're short. Not the Phantom Menace. Not Star Wars Episode 1, the Phantom Menace. It was something else. Anywho. Yeah, whatever. been in lots of stuff, but not much that I've seen. I've probably seen him in For All Mankind. Right, where were we? Oh, and he's telling them, there you go, that they confirmed that it was Annabelle Higgins, their daughter, and her boyfriend, who we still don't know his name. We learned that they're part of a cult, and I think is it this way that he tells them what the name of the cult is? Don't know. Does it? I don't know. Maybe it does. It does at some point. And I forgot they're called Children of the Ram. I think that's what they call the cult. Anyway, so it's telling they're part of a cult, and they do crazy things. They're probably on drugs, etc. You know, it's a lot of nonsense. But then she says she doesn't want to know the details. He says, when we learn more, I'll let you know. And she says, no, I don't want to know the details. I just want to forget the whole thing. So he says, fair enough, and buggers off. Right, he's setting up stuff, is John, because he's buggering off himself, remember, he's flying somewhere for this conference or whatever. And he's setting up the telly, look, he's watching, I don't know, Rowan and Martin's Laughing, is that what it is? I don't know. You tell me. So he says, thank you. Right, so he's going to make some popcorn for her, remember the popcorn he got? So he's going to do that, and then she falls asleep instantly. But we see him switching on the electric stove and putting the popcorn on. It's one they didn't have a bloody microwave, innit? You know, they've got bloody ultrasounds, might as well have a microwave. No, old-fashioned popcorn. There it is. And he sees she's asleep, so he goes and turns everything off again, but leaves the popcorn there. Chekhov's popcorn. Anyway. So off it is gone. There he's going. Ain't gone. It's going. There we go. I love you too. Right, so off he goes. Probably having an affair. No, he ain't. He ain't. He's a loving hubby. Right, she's sewing again. She's out of bed. She's at a sewing machine. And we see, hang on, we hear. She's no sense of smell either, by the way. Hang on. Go back again. There we go. Right, in this shot, we see their spices, their spice rack, but we hear the noise of the cooker hobs being switched on, but we don't see it. We just hear it. So when we pan over, then we just see that they're all on. Remember, the popcorn's still there, because you know why did John just leave it there? Why didn't you put it back in the box? Never mind. But it's there, and so she's obviously not had anything to eat, or she's not cooked anything all day. But anyway, I don't even know what time it is. So she's watching telly and sewing, but she doesn't know that this has started popping. The corn started popping. Can't she smell it? This popcorn's got a very distinctive smell. Well, that's when I make it anyway. But she's oblivious to it. And we're getting a lot of quick cuts between the telly, TV, and her sewing and the popping of the corn. Quick cuts between them because she ends up cutting herself. There we go. She ends up cutting herself. Nearly sewing. Had her sewn whatever it is to me finger me. So she's like, oh crikey! But obviously she can't smell the popcorn. There you go. Look, she can't smell it, and there's all smoke and stuff coming off it now. It's going to set on fire in a minute. Look, it's totally oblivious. There you go. Run it under the tap. Force it. And then it all catches on fire. There we go. It all catches on fire. She still hasn't noticed. Oh, she does now. Look, she goes and sits back down, and then she's like, "Oh, what's that?" But she don't go. She just like looks around and says, "Oh, look, there's smoke coming from there." So she goes in. There you go. Kitchen's ablaze. What am I laughing for? It's not funny. I'm laughing because she didn't notice, because she's an idiot. Anyway, she tries running out and she falls over onto her belly, which is not good if you're expecting, is it? But then as she gets up to run away, something grabs hold of her. Hang on, I've probably gone past it. There we go. Something grabs, an invisible force pulls her back in. It's the only time we see that in this film. Well, people being pulled about. We see things moving because of an invisible force, but it's the only time we see her being, it's very paranormal activity, isn't it? But anyway, doesn't happen again. And I'd have thought she might have looked at her ankle or something, and we just thought we'd have seen some marks or something, but we don't. We don't show it because a similar thing happens later. She ends up something grabs her arm there, and she ends up with the A, the sigil. Anyway, but then she's looking, she's transfixed at something. I don't know. Something's tried pulling her back in. Then banging on the door. Obviously, they've got a better sense of smell than her. These policemen. She says, "Look, policeman, I got you." Have they been on the stakeout outside her house? I don't know, but he doesn't look like a policeman, does he? He's got a normal thing on. But we'll say the neighbours, obviously not the Higgins, the other side, have saved her. Then John comes running into the hospital. Here he is. And says, "I'm sorry I wasn't there." And she says, "Shut up and turn round." And we see there's a baby. Yeah, I got a baby. And he goes, "My baby." Not our baby, my baby. And we learn they're calling her Leah. Not Leia, Leah. Leah. Then look, she's gorgeous. I wonder is that a real baby, that? Or do you reckon it's one of those ones made out of, what they call it? Stuff. Man, me. That rubbery stuff. I forgot what they call it now. Anyway. You know what I mean. Right, so, anyway. Oh, she tries to say, she says, "The house is accursed. Accursed." That's what she said. Accursed. She doesn't want to go back. She says, "Fair enough, we're not going back." So, next time we see them, there we go. They're living here in Ellen DeGeneres' old apartment called the Palmeri, but in real life it's called, I've forgotten. Hang on. The Langham Apartments. This is in my notes. Never put it. Here we go. Ellen DeGeneres lived in the apartment used in the movie while promoting Annabelle 2014 in her show. Shia LaBeouf, Gina Rodriguez, Padma Lakshmi, guest DJ Megan. What are you telling us that for? She explained that the apartment in the movie was her first apartment that she moved to in LA. That was the building she lived in. As a quote, "That was the building I lived in where they shot the movie. I was watching it going, that looks familiar, and it was my building. It was scary back then too." I'm guessing in the inside bits, I'm guessing that was in the studio, but the outside is the Langham Apartments on Normandy Avenue, Los Angeles. That's where it is. Right, so we're going to get a look at that. There it is. But it's in this, they called it the Palmeri Apartments. Does it show? And there we go. They're moving into that apartment on the 6th floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, that one. Oh no, there is another floor up there. Oh, maybe, I don't know though. But the weird thing is, almost instantly, we're hearing noise from the neighbours above. She's looking up and she's saying, they can hear footsteps from above, and she's saying, the neighbours are making the noise again, but there's nobody above them. So I don't know. Unless their apartment goes all the way back to there, and it's up above there that we can hear. I don't know. Is that somebody standing there? Or is that something else? I don't know. Anyway, is it a ghost? Is that a ghost there? That's spooky. Probably not. Anyway, right. So, they've moved into a new apartment. They haven't got a house anymore. They've got an apartment on the 6th floor. Right, so here we are. They're getting ready to go to church. We can hear the there we go, muffled footsteps from above. But as you saw in the thing, they're on the top floor of that part. Anywho, so I think I think that's a supernatural thing, like the kids that we're going to see in a bit. The two children, I think they're not real. But anywho, right. So they're going to church anyway. Right, off they go. They come downstairs and they see the lovely Alfred Woodard. Star Trek reference for Windgrace. I forgot the name of a bloody character now. Lily from Star Trek First Contact. Anyway, she notices them. make eye contact as they go down. There we go. They make eye contact because they're going to become friends later. Right, she plays Evelyn, not Evelyn from Masters of the Universe. That's a different Evelyn. Evelyn. Anyway, they're in church, so here they are. Because, as I said, they're religious. But Leah's been fussy, so Mia takes her outside, so as not to disrupt the service. Anyway, as they're outside, after the service, Master Braytac, I'll just keep calling him that, comes along and he wants to take a photo. There we go, of the baby, so it's for the bulletin board. And as we see, he takes the photo. He's got it that way up, but when we see the photo later, it's that way up. But never mind. First contact prequel confirmed. Is it this? She's Lily's great grandmother or something. Anyway, so he takes a photo, and then he talks to her about the Higgins. He says, he feels the Higgins' loss, and she doesn't want to talk about it. So he says, right, I've got to go. We've got lots of unpacking still to do. So off she goes. Right, so yes, they're unpacking still. Last few boxes, and she gets this doll out, and it's laughing, in a creepy laugh. Hang on. Why can't you bloody hear it? It's not muted. Oh, it is muted now. I didn't bloody mute it before. I don't think I did. Maybe I did. Creepy laugh. That's it. Chekhov's creepy laughing doll. We're going to see that again later. Anyway, so she puts that there. Oh, excuse me. John comes in with one last box. Here he goes in. That's the last one. I'm going to do something. I don't know. He's going to check on the baby, I suppose. I don't know. So anyway, so she checks the box and she moves some stuff out of it, and then we see at the bottom of the box, it's Annabelle. Annabelle's in the box, so she obviously lifts her out. It's looking a bit worse for wear now. Remember, he threw her in the trash, didn't he? So she's looking at her, and he comes out and says, "Hang on, I could have sworn I threw that in the trash." But he did. We saw it, didn't we? But he said, well, maybe it got mixed up, after the fire and all that. Maybe somebody pulled it out of the bin or whatever, or maybe the bin got knocked over, whatever. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. It doesn't mention it in the film, but she says, "No, never mind." He says, "I'll throw it away again. I'll give it here. I'll get rid of it." He says, "No, never mind. I'll keep it. We've got to, not let things drag us down, etc." So she's going to keep it. She's putting it back on the shelf. She's not going to clean it or anything. Putting it on the shelf, right? To terrify her daughter. So there we go. There's Annabelle on the shelf again. Right. I'd shit myself if I saw that staring at me at night. Anyway. Sure, don't rationalise. Yes, whatever. Anywho. Right, meanwhile, establishing shot. As you can see, there's no apartments above them. They live in that apartment there. That one, that top one there. And there's no apartments above them, apart from them way back there. But I'm guessing their apartment doesn't go all the way back there. Anyway, there's little Leah asleep. There's a baby on telly. Ugly baby on telly, I'm sorry. I think it must be General Hospital or something like that. But the telly's gone off. Alright, she's fallen asleep. This is where we get a repeat of what we saw at the beginning of the film. Here we go. She's asleep on the couch. Leah's asleep in a crib. And then, is it going to show it? You saw it in the trailer bit at the beginning. Here she comes. Come on, bloody hell. There she comes. The ghost of Annabelle comes walking by. But not only that. For Pete's sake. Here she comes. There you go. She just appears. You notice she's got black hands. As though they're being burnt or whatever. Or it's just evil. I don't know. But her hands. We see it again later. Demonic, I suppose you could say, because the demon's, black. But anyway, there we go. We see leaning over the crib in a spooky way, and then the baby starts crying. She wakes up. Obviously, everything's fine. So anyway, they're going out now. So so where we see the kids. She comes down the stairs, and the little boy's drawing. The little girl's got a doll. She talks to him. The boy says, we haven't to speak to strangers. He says, that's very sensible and all that. And he says, we live up. And she says that and starts saying, we live upstairs. Obviously, we can see nobody lives upstairs except for right at the back of the building. Maybe, if that is an apartment, I don't know. But he's saying, don't tell her. And you can see he's drawing. We're going to see his drawings later. So anyway, so off she goes. She's saying, I like your doll, I've got a few like that, blah, blah, blah. So she says, well, I hope we'll be friends. And we don't see him again. Right, so she's taking out her perambulator with the baby in. Off she goes. I think she's looking at this bookshop. Here she is, hang on. Here it is, there we go. Old Towny Books. Not Oldie Towny Books, Old Towny Books. This is Alfred Woodard's shop. Alfred Woodard comes out. She sees books in the window, I think to do with demons and stuff. There we go. The Devil's Welcome. The Book of Symbols. Oh, it's behind me. You can't see it. Never mind. What else? Digging for Gold Without a Shovel. That must be a book title. I don't know. Anyway, so she sees that. The Devil's Welcome. But then Alfred Woodard comes out, and they go, the new tenants at the Palmary, aren't you? And she gives them a book, says, this was my daughter's favourite book, and maybe it will be your daughter's favourite when she gets older. So she says, oh, thank you. So, anyway, so they're introduced. He says, pop in any time. And I don't know why, but I think Alfred Woodard's gorgeous. I do. Something about her. I think she's gorgeous. So she goes back home, right. She finds the drawings that the little boy had been doing. Goes, picks one up, looks at it. Oh, very nice, very nice. Then she sees another one. She picks that one up. Hang on. For Pete's sake. There we go. And on the other one, a truck's appeared on it. And then another one appears. And they're fluttering down now from above. So I think the supernatural, they're not... I don't think those kids were real. But anyway, Old Towny Books, a subsidiary of S-Mart. I forgot the bloody name of it now. So I think she should go in, and Dick Miller should be there from The Howling. He should be there in that bookshop that they're going, where he buys the silver bullets in The Howling. Anyway, to be in that. Anyway, right. So she sees there we go. Every time there's a new picture, the truck's getting closer to the pram, baby carriage, whatever the term is. And then the last one, there you go. My baby's been splattered by a truck. So she shows them to John, and he says, should we speak to their parents? And he says, it makes light of it a bit. He says, it has to joke about it. They're not even that good. But he says, yes, I think we should. We'll find out where they live, and we'll go talk to them. But we won't make a big deal about it. But it's just a kid's imagination. But as I said, we don't see him again, and we don't think they even go looking for him. And I don't think they were real. I think they were a manifestation of evil. Anyway. Right, so, and as they're talking about it, now we're going to say, fears and anxieties, we promise to leave those behind, etc. We're focusing in on Annabelle, who appears to be listening. As you can see, her head's turned. It's like she's listening to him. That's how we never see her move. But, anyway. So, he says, tomorrow I don't have to stay late, so I'll come home and we'll have a nice dinner, and we'll have a nice evening together and all that stuff. Listen to some music and stuff. And then I think we cut to the next evening, and he's not there, so I'm guessing he must have been working late. But we've got a record player playing. Good old KTEL, The Association's Cherish, which I've never heard of. Does it say on phonograph? What does it say? Playing on phonograph. A phonograph? I ain't got any phonographs here, Grandad. Anyway, so there she is. She's eating, and she's eating his food. So he's not there. I don't know. Is he there, or has he nipped out, or has he just not got in? He ended up working late, but she's made it for him anyway. Looks like they're having I don't know, something with rice. Might be a Vesta curry. Do they still make those? Never had one. In the 70s, when I was a kid, it was like a super special treat for people to have a Vesta curry. I've never had one. There might be manky, I don't know. But anyway, I forgot what happens here now. Does she hear a noise? I forgot what happens. Oh yes. Yeah, I can't remember. She goes to turn the music off. That's it. She turns the music off. That's it. And she goes out of the room. I don't know why she turned the music off. Maybe it was just getting on her nerves. I can't remember, but it doesn't really matter. The point is, she's gone to turn the music off. Keep an eye on this picture here, and essentially the reflection in it. Because let's see, she's gone into the other room. There she is. She's clearing away the table, and we see a shadow in this picture. There it is. Look, a shadow moves by, and the record player starts playing again. So obviously that's some creepiness happening. I like stuff like that. She comes back in. Oh, what's that started playing again for? Oh, yes, and also she's looking round. Then what? How did that start playing again? Hang on. Oh dear, I've missed it. But there's something in there. We go. She goes in to see what's happened, and I'm getting chills because you can see it there. Look, the demon is standing by the window, behind the curtain. Stuff like that gives me the willies. It does. They did it in Insidious as well. I love stuff like that. But it's there. It's there. You can see it's there in the window with its horns and everything. Anyway, but when she turns around, obviously it's gone. It's gone. But then something weird happens, and all the curtains are like that. A jump scare, which is cool. A relevant jump scare. So she screams. The sewing machine's going again. I missed this bit. Right, so there you go. She goes, the sewing machine turns off, and then she turns round, sees a little girl standing there. Yes, a little girl. When she fell over, when the curtains blew, she fell over, and then a little girl ran by, and so she went, oh, what happened? And then she had the sewing machine. So then she went, turns around, sees the little girl there. She says, who are you? And then the little girl runs at her, as we'll see. The door starts closing by itself, and then she transforms into grown-up Annabelle Higgins. That word young Annabelle Higgins. And like she attacks her, look, but she disappears. Not there, look, she's gone. Is it all in her mind? Obviously not. But obviously she's freaking out. So, and then obviously John's come back home at some point. And he says, there's nobody here. He says, I know what I saw. But there he goes, trying to rationalise it. Grace doesn't like rationalising. But he's saying, maybe we should go see somebody. Oh, by the way, ceiling rumbling, footsteps thudding. We've seen that there's nobody above them. Anyway, he says, maybe we should see somebody. He says, I'm not going to go see a shrink. And he says, I'm not talking about a shrink. They've gone to see Father Perez. So here they are talking to him about it. And he's just reassuring them that, they're stronger together and all that stuff. There you go. So, she's not super convinced. Anyway, then they run into Evelyn again. John introduces himself, and, they're becoming friends. So, right. So John's going to work. Right, so she's back at home, sewing again. She hears a noise. Oh, yes, this is the... You got to listen to... Blessed day. Right, he's going. Right, here we go. Door creaking, then thudding. It's the most fake sound effect. It's like sound effect number 22 on some album. But... really fake sound effect. She hears that. Anyway. Oh, is that on there? Sorry, just a chat. I think it's on. I think it's one of those. Yes, it's one of those on Twitch. Best viewers on it, and then a link. Tell you. You think, ooh, people are paying attention. No, they're not. Anyway, right. So she hears this fake creaking door and then thudding. So she goes to check, and obviously nothing's wrong. And she's got the baby look. Alright, then we see this. Annabelle is obviously facing forward, sat on the shelf facing forward. But then when we see her in a minute, she's putting the baby down. There we go. Put the baby. Obviously, Annabelle's facing a different way now. She should be facing, directly outwards, but now she's turned her head. Spooky. But we're focusing on Annabelle because Mia leaves and then the door closes by itself. Dun dun dun. Oh, and then we have a jump scare. You ready for a jump scare? Hang on. Here it comes. There we go. Thunder, rum and lightning. Jump scare. I don't know why it's not loud. It's weird. Make sure we're still going. Because I've been playing a lot of clips and I might get into trouble for it. Anyway. Yes, we're still going. Right, so thunder's rumbling. It's raining. Twas a dark and stormy night. Anyway, here she is. Oh, she's going down to the basement, where they put the rubbish or whatever. I'm guessing each apartment has its own little area in the basement for storage or whatever. So she's folded up the boxes, putting them in storage. So she takes the elevator down, and I think we do see that there's only. What is there? Oh no, there is 7th floor, I think. No. Oh, yeah, it says there 7. What if I has it 7, 8? There's 8 floors, and maybe one there as well, but there's no number on that. And then on the 6th, so that must be. I don't know. From outside, you can see that they're on the top floor. Maybe it's a turbo lift, and it can go. It can go a different way. I don't know. Anyway, so here she is in the creepy basement. Storage apartment 607. Right, so that's their apartment on the 6th floor, apartment 7. So she's putting stuff away, and then she hears a noise, and we see here it comes in a minute. There it is. It comes rolling out in a creepy way by itself. Another baby carriage. We call them prams over here. And we hear a baby crying, and it's really scary. I'd have just run. I thought, there's no baby in that. I'm out of here. But no, she goes to check on it because, she's a mother. So she got to go check, and she looks in the pram. There's all the bloody rags in there. And she obviously she's got to touch, make sure the baby's okay. And obviously that's not going to go well. Are you ready? There you go. A thin and ghastly hand grabs hold of her. Obviously, the demon Malthus grabs hold of her. And she's like, and then we see him there. Look, just notice we see him there. She runs back to the elevator. See him standing there in the darkness. So I'm getting chills. She presses the button for the 6th floor. There you go. Let's just double check that. Do we get a close-up look at it? Oh, there we go. Yes, 7 floors. Why did it say 8 on the bloody thing at top? You can only go up 7. Anyway, whatever. But as we've seen, 6th floor is the top floor. Or maybe, as I said, maybe it's further back. I don't know. But their apartments are really big, aren't they? They seems quite big. Bigger than this house that I live in. And this is a house. But anyway, she presses the button anyway, and she goes. The elevator starts going, and then it opens up again, and we see it keeps leaving her in the basement. So, but we don't see the demon heading towards or anything like that. Getting closer every time the door opens. It just keeps opening on the basement. So she keeps trying, and then she sees. She flashes her flashlight, even though it's lit up, an exit for the stairs. So she runs for that. And she's running up the stairs. She falls over again. She's always falling over. Thunder. Remember, it's thunder and lightning, by the way. And she looks down, And we see the demon's hands that keep, they disappear. So she goes, help me! And then it says you can hear the baby Leah crying because obviously they left the baby by herself. She didn't take the baby with her. Bad mother. And then she looks down the stairs. We can see the demon coming up the stairs after her, growling. And then there's another jump scare. With that were good, wasn't it? I landed on that. Pops down from above and scares her to death. Except she doesn't die. Right, so she runs back home, slams the door and all that stuff. Right, so next day, I presume. Guessing that John is away working because I think they've put him on the night shift. Yes, they have. John's on the night shift. That's why she's alone at night. They did mention it earlier. I forgot to mention it. Anyway, she looked. I forgot to show that, didn't I? See if we can see it. See if we can see. Oh, is that where she's looking at it? Oh, for God's sake, gone too far. Come on, show us the bloody arm. There you go. She got that the symbol on her arm, the Annabelle symbol, I suppose we should call it. Right, so next day she got that on, and then obviously she must think it's not itching or hurting anymore. Maybe and she takes off the dressing, and hang on. There you go, and it's gone. It has vanished. It has healed. It has healed. Right, so what happens next? I'm trying to remember. I've watched this twice the last couple of days and I forgot what happens in it. Eh dear. Do I have any more nuggets of info before we carry on? Done the Ellen DeGeneres one. Done that one. Unlike The Conjuring, which purports to be based on true events, but it won't really, this prequel is a completely fictional narrative of the previous owner of the doll before it was given to the two nurses shown at the beginning of The Conjuring and this. The only theory as to the origins of Annabelle comes from a medium the nurses hired, which I mentioned, who claimed that Annabelle Higgins had been a child in the 1860s whose body was found in the field which the house now occupied. Right. What the Conjuring house? I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, this is not really connected, but I just found it interesting. The 1963 episode of The Twilight Zone, titled "Living Doll," with my favourite actor Telly Savalas, involves a talking doll given to a young girl by her mother. The doll's innocent vocabulary soon takes a sinister tone, especially towards the girl's cruel stepfather, Telly Savalas. The girl's mother is named Annabelle. I just thought that was interesting. Lynn Shay was considered for the role of Evelyn before Alfred Woodard was cast because it's Lynn Shay. She's in everything. Right. I've got two lots of notes. That's weird. Never mind. Right. So what's happening now? She heard another noise. I've forgotten. No, I think she's just wondering what's going on. Right. Yes, and she's phoned up Detective Clark in. So he's come. There he is. He's come to see him. So her hands. She's giving him some tea or whatever, and the hands are shaking. So there he goes, saying he's surprised to hear from her because, she said she didn't want to know, and then she's now saying, well, passage of time and all that. We've had some distance from the event, and I just want some closure. So, right, so he says, well, I brought the Higgins file, and there we go, there we see young Annabelle Higgins and what they call a trio tool. Is that her name? Is that what I've forgotten already? Yes, trio tool as the Annabelle Higgins, it says on Wikipedia. The Annabelle Higgins. Bring back Celebrity Death Match. I think I only saw one of those. And I think it was one with the Cylons versus... Was that Celebrity Death Match? Or am I thinking something else? Cylons versus 3PO and R2. Was that Celebrity Death Match? I don't know. I can't remember. Anyway... So she sees them, and obviously she recognises the little girls, what she saw before. So, anyway. So she's wondering about that, and she's asking about, what did they were worshipping and all stuff. And there you go. He says they were trying to conjure something up. Got conjure, see? Conjure. because to connect it with the Conjuring, so they've got the Conjuring up a the Malthus demon, I presume. Telly Savalas versus Terry Metalis. Savalas Metalis. Savalas v Metalis in Vegas. Anyway. Anyway, so it's trying to conjure something, and he says it doesn't really matter anyway. She says, why not? He says, because it's all hocus pocus and nonsense. And she goes to look at the folder there that's on the desk table, sorry, and he goes to stop her because there's images in there that he thinks she shouldn't see, and she goes, no, please let me see. So he lets her see, and she looks at the photos of the crime scene, all the blood and stuff. I think this is where he tells her that they're called the Children of the Ram, or the cult that they were in. And she's asking about, hang on, where is it? That sign. She's asking about that, what that means. And this is where he tells her that the Children of the Ram is what they're called. Oh, Disciples of the Ram, that's it. I were close. There you go, that's seeing that. It looks like an A, but it can't help her any more than that. It's just the facts, ma'am, sort of thing. So obviously she goes back to the bookstore, Alfred Woodard's bookstore. So you should have put a standee of Dick Miller in the background, or Razor Cult, his books from Ghostbusters 2. Anyway, she's looking for books now. There we go. Diabolic Theurgy, The Dead Sea Scrolls. What else we got? Ghost Spirits and Apparitions by Anthony Astrino. I wonder if that's a real book. I have no idea. Probably. Anyway, then Alfred Woodard pops up. Oh, looking for anything in particular? And she says, no, I'm just browsing. And then she says, I've just learned something new. You're a terrible liar. So then she tells her all about it. She says, I think her apartment's haunted. She says, I'm old. She was only 61 when she made this. With Alfred Woodard. Anyway. Of course, I looked it up. Because, she looks well for her age, doesn't she? But, there's that old saying in there. Which I won't say. So then she says, I think my house is haunted and all that stuff. So she says, I'll follow me. So she's telling about the ghost of Annabelle Higgins and all that stuff. And so she's going to help, is Evelyn. We learned that Evelyn's daughter died. She was about the same age as Mia. And we learn why later. It's not relevant, because I was watching this thinking, I bet Evelyn's a ghost. I bet she's not real, but turns out, she is real, not a ghost. Anyway, so there they go. They've got some books. I don't know if she's charged her for them. Maybe she sold them. Maybe she's just lending them. I don't know. But they've gone back to the apartment and they're looking through the books. And I think we see the name Malthus in one of these books. I probably won't land on it. But Evelyn's saying she doesn't think it's a ghost because obviously whatever it was has followed them from the other house into this house. So she's saying it's probably an inhuman spirit, not evil Lynn. I mentioned that earlier on from Masters of the Universe.
Which is why
Evelyn. Anyway, no, it's not her. Evelyn. I just heard the noise of that. Somebody whispering then. I got the chills then. Anyway, never mind. Right, so there you go. She's telling her all about about demons and stuff. I'm trying to see if she's going to land on the book that she's got to open at. Oh, we see that there you go. She's got scar. You can't see for me. Just there. You can see she's got a scar because where she tried to self-terminate. Alison Brie has been cast as her in the new movie. Oh, they're doing another movie. That name rings a bell, Alison Brie. Does ring a bell, but I can't place it. There you go. You can see it now. That she's after her daughter died, we learned that she thought there was no point carrying on, and then she tried to end it all presumably in the bath. I don't know, but then she said she was lying there bleeding. She heard the daughter's voice tell her that it's not her time, so she must have, I don't know, rushed to hospital or something. I don't know, but anyway. I thought I heard somebody whispering earlier on in this stream too, but thought it was intentional. All right, spooky. I mean, I've not got it. No, it's not. I'll mute it again. I don't think it was this. I don't think it was this that we were watching. Because I wasn't playing. It were paused. Anyway, I've got the chills now. Anyway, right. By the way, I've just noticed that in the background. Is that relevant? It looks like bloody Pazuzu or something, doesn't it? She got a demon statue. Looks creepy anyway. Just noticed that. Right, so see if we can land on this book. Oh, she's showing a photo of her young Alfred Woodard, maybe as Lily Sloan. I'm trying to remember her name. Lily Sloan from Star Trek First Contact, and her daughter. I don't think we ever found out her name. Maybe we did. Don't know. Right, so there we go. So, she's saying God has got another purpose for her. So she's saying you too have a purpose, and we're not bloody landing on the book. I want to, because she's looking at the book and we see some of the pages, and I'm sure it tells the name of the demon somewhere on that page. I'm gonna land on it. I'm gonna keep going till I land on it. Oh dear. There we go. It says Belial there, Curses of Belial, but no, I don't see Malthus anywhere. Or maybe it's in another book. I don't know. Maybe we see it later, because we do see her in another book later on. Maybe it's in that one. Anyway, so she's thinking it's a demon, because it's always a demon, isn't it? It's like when you're watching like Ghost Adventures and stuff like that. It's always a bloody demon. 3 scratches, it's a demon. Anyway, whatever. 3 knocks, it's a demon. Right, so she's saying that she's got to do what she thinks is right, just like Obi-Wan. Right, so next day, I presume, I don't know, or whenever. We see. You notice here now. We see she's pushing the perambulator to the apartment as Keanu Reeves just walks by. But it's deliberately not showing her below her shoulders, for reasons, as we'll see. We hear Leah babbling, so we know the baby's there somewhere. We're supposed to think the baby's in the pram. That's what we're supposed to think. I've had lots of demons email me. It used to be a big thing, didn't it, on the internet? Anyway, I think she dropped her keys, and she hears somebody say Mia, and she looks up. Why? The bug is rolling off, just like in Ghostbusters 2. There's no pink slime, though. No mood slime in this. She looks up, and the bug is rolling off. And then in the reflection, she sees Annabelle with Annabelle in the reflection. She's like, ah! But then this big truck's coming, same colour as what that kid drew. And smashes into the pram. Ah, no! And then we think, oh no, poor, what's her face? Leah. But obviously, oh, for God's sake. And then we see that she had the baby all the time. Thank goodness. Because I didn't want to see a baby getting splattered, did we? Anyway, so there we go. And then we saw that the books were in the pram. So she must have gone back to... That must have been in the bookstore still, or maybe in the apartment above it, I don't know. Maybe Evelyn lives, I don't know, but maybe she was walking back from there, and she still had the books in the... they're going to show it. There we go. Still have the books in the pram instead of the baby. She got a bag? Obviously not. But I'm guessing she's gathered all these up, because we see her reading them later, so she's... That poor truck driver's probably had a bloody heart attack as well. He'll probably never drive again. Anyway, right, here she is reading the book, so maybe we see it here. Right, so I'm going to see if we can land on a page. Oh, there we see little Leah sitting with her toys next to lots of books on a shelf. On shelves, should I say. Come on, there we go. Right. Oh, that's all in bloody, I don't know what it's in. Can't see Malthus there. But there's some sort of demonic thing there. Keep looking. Rites of evocation. Does it say it there? No, that curse of Belial. I'm trying to, hang on, just a minute. Bear with me. I'm trying to read it. Oh, I can't blooming see it. Are there any others? Oh, hang on, there's more coming. Gehenna, hell, murderers, blah, blah, Lilith, it mentions Lilith. Who was the first wife of Adam, if you're into that stuff, but became a demon in Jewish folklore. I still can't see any Belial, not Belial, Malthus. It's not standing out anyway. Hang on, what we got here? No. Ah, there we go. Malthus, there we go. What does that say? Earl of Hell. Malthus, Earl of Hell. There we go. Looking like a goat with claws. Eating a baby. Then we go to a baby. Right, so I think she hears a noise now. Right, she goes over here and checks on the baby, who's suddenly lying down, and then gets back. Then the baby gets back up again. Then we go hear the rocking chair, look creaking. She puts the books on the shelf. She goes to check the rocking chair. Into the room. There it is. Nothing in it. And what's going on? She has a look round. And then the doors just slam on her. Oh, we hear the noise above again. As we see, there's nobody above them, unless their apartment goes way back. Don't know, but anyway. And then the doors slam. Bang, bang, there we go, like that. And so she's like, oh no, and she can't open them. They're locked or jammed or whatever. And luckily, the bottom of this door has got the biggest gap I've ever seen. It's like a bloody saloon door. Look at it. There's a right draft goes through there. And the baby's sitting there, and books are dropping all around the baby. So she's looking, let's say, luckily, it's got a saloon door. And she sees the books. There we go. Oh no, the baby's going to get clonked on the head by a spooky book. And then we get another jump scare. Bang! There we go, jump scare of Annabelle popping up. And that's the only time we see her actually move. Maybe under her own steam. I don't know. Or she just dropped there, whatever. Alright, and now this, I don't get this. She can't get out, the door's stuck. So she smashes off the door handle, as we see, with a rocking chair. There we go, she smashed off the door handle. So how's that open the door? I don't know. It should just make it harder to get out, shouldn't it? But no, she opens the door, so she must have grabbed the door like that. Why didn't I don't know. It should have been even more locked after she smashed off the handle, but never mind. Never mind. Right, so she runs in, gathers up Leah, and there we see, in the background, Annabelle. I nearly said Abigail again. Annabelle in the background. You can see just there, look. And it looks like she's going to stand up by herself as we're watching there. Look, she looks like she sits up and then she stands up. We actually learn that's not what's happening. It's something's picking her up because she looks round. And then, there we go. Something picked her up. And then as we zoom in, we get the Insidious shot. By the way, speaking of Insidious, I forgot to mention, the scene earlier on in the elevator, apparently I don't know if it was just the bit in the elevator, but that would direct, and not the rest of it in the, with the pram and all that, in the basement. But the bit in the elevator was directed by James Wan. I don't know why, or Wan, however you pronounce it. Anyway, so here he is, look, here he is. There he is. That's the Insidious shot of the demon peeking out from behind somebody. Too scary. That's a Joseph Bishara. He's weird looking. He's in the behind the scenes documentary on the Blu-ray. He's odd looking. There's no information about him on like Wikipedia or anything. I was curious about about his personal life and stuff like that, and I just wanted to know a bit about him because he looks odd. Anyway, but I'm sure he's a lovely fella, and he's a good at music and stuff because he does, as I said, he does the musical score for all these films as well. Anyways, it's obviously it's him that's holding up Annabelle. So she screams, ah! And then John's coming home from, must be early in the morning maybe, coming back from the night shift, and he hears Mia screaming, and you can hear all this commotion. So he goes running in, and then we see all the furniture's been knocked over. Well, a bit of it has. There you go. Oh, excuse me. So, I don't know. Have the demon just kicked over the furniture just for fun? I don't know. Maybe just to scare them. Maybe so. But we didn't see it happen. You gotta help us, John. Sorry, I've got a crikey. Anyway, so where are they now? I don't actually know. The Barclay, it says there. What's this? I don't know. Gaylord there. I think they're still at home, but this isn't their apartment, is it? Is this their apartment building? It might be. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it is there. Maybe this is the Palmieri Apartments. Why did it say the Barclay on then outside? Is that their apartment there? On this side of the fire escape? And as you can see, there's nothing up top. That's way back there, isn't it? I don't think their apartment goes all the way back there, does it? Definitely not. Anyway, whatever. They've called Father Perez, so he's come to... there you go, here he is. Father Perez is here to save the day. So... says, show me the doll. So this gets the doll, and telling her that they threw it away and it came back and all that stuff, and it can move about and it's scary, etc. And he's telling, pardon me, demons can use inanimate objects to achieve their goals, and their goals are to capture human souls. So they're thinking it's they want the demon wants Leah's soul, but said oh no, they said. And he said, don't worry, the soul has to be given willingly. Demons can't just take your soul; it's got to be given willingly. So Leah's safe because she can't give her soul because she's only a baby. But John says, "Well, I'm not gonna offer my soul to a demon." And this is where he says, that the devil is the king of lies, and demons are his manipulators, and they can, basically convince you to give up your soul. So anyway, and he says that he knows some people might be able to deal with this type of thing in the church. And he says he also knows a married couple who live out east, but I'd have to give them a call. Obviously referring to the Warrens, but it says it ends up he's going to take the doll. He's going to take Annabelle, and it says if we store her in a sacred place, he's going to take her back to the church. Maybe that'll stop the demon from doing stuff. So that's what he's going to do. So he says, right, off he goes. He goes driving home, takes the doll with him. I don't know who this is. At first I thought it was Evelyn, but I don't know who it is. It just walks by, and I don't know if it's anybody relevant. The woman in the red dress, basically. I don't know. I don't know who it is. I mean, it could be. I don't know. I don't know if it's like an Easter egg. I don't know. It's something that's gone over my head, like most things do. Wingrace says they must want Spock's soul then. I'm trying to think now. I don't get the references because I'm an idiot. Anyway, never mind. His Catra, his living spirit. By the way, we're watching something. What were I watching? Watching now. It had Vulcans in it, and I forgot what it was. A Vulcan died, and I can't remember what I watched now. And I was thinking, why didn't he why didn't he do a remember onto somebody before he died? And I forgot who it was. And I can't remember. Was it Tuvok? Was it in Voyager? I don't think it was. Can't remember. Anyway, because he was the most human. We all cried at that. Anyway, right, so he's taking Annabelle, dumps her in the car, puts her in the front seat, and then thinks, nah, I'll put her in the back seat. So chucks her in the back seat and sets off driving. And off he goes. Right. Then John's sorting out Mia. He says he's going to stay up with the baby. She says, thank you for believing me. He says, oh, yeah, I love you. I'll always believe you. Right, so he's driving now. He's Father Perez. And this is the scene where you think he keeps getting distracted. DS9 with Ezra. No, it wasn't that. I haven't seen DS9 for a while. It was quite recently, and I can't remember what I was watching. What have I watched recently with Vulcans in? Only Star Trek I've watched recently is Voyager, so it must have been that. I can't remember what it was now. Never mind. I've just started re-watching Lower Decks. Star Trek Lower Decks. Remember what I used to hate. It is quite annoying at the beginning, I must admit. Particularly, what's the face? I've got the name now. Tony Madison. Mariner. Super annoying, but it gets better. Anywho, what were I saying? Oh, right, yes. This is the scene where you think he's going to crash the car or he's going to see something because he keeps getting distracted as he's driving. The radio goes on the fritz, and then we hear somebody over the radio screaming. I think it's supposed to be Martin Luther King, I think, but he was like, "May God have mercy on your soul." It might not be, but it sounds like him. There you go. He keeps looking down, and every time you're thinking, and he looks up, there's going to be somebody standing in the road, but it never happens. It never happens, so that's quite effective. Like I say, he's looking round, and he never sees anybody. It's a fake out, but a well done one, because you're expecting it. Anyway, he gets out the car, takes Annabelle, heads up the stairs to the church. But then as the camera pans back down, we see, the real Annabelle Higgins is in the car, and then he turns around, he sees her standing there. And he goes to the door, and as he gets to the door, there you go. Something, I don't know if something throws him back or something pulls him back. I'm going to say something pulls him back, because there won't be no evil through the threshold of the church, will there? But so I'm saying something pulls him back, and there you go. And we see the doll there, and Father Perez on the pavement, sidewalk, whatever, with lots of blood there. But don't worry, he's not dead. In fact, he's fine. But Annabelle's taken Annabelle. Right, so we cut to the hospital, and it just happens to be the hospital where John works. So here he is. There you go. Inaudible dialogue. We're getting near the end of the film, don't worry. Hang on. I don't care for a few episodes. So the first episode wasn't that bad, to be honest. Like I said, I hated it. But I think that first one wasn't too bad, particularly with the zombies and stuff. It was quite fun. But just Mariner just got on my nerves a bit. She was a bit over-exuberant. I know she was supposed to be drunk, but it a bit much at the beginning. Anyway. Right, so they've been out shopping as Evelyn and Mia and Leah. And Evelyn's been buying things for her, dresses and stuff like that. Pyjamas and all that stuff. There we go. John's sitting with Father Perez. There he is. It's midnight. Look, I've just noticed it's midnight. Well, I'm guessing that's a clock. Don't usually have... Well, I don't know about America, but I've noticed in British hospitals, particularly yesterday, I kept looking around to see if I could find a clock. They don't usually have them where the patients are. They might have a clock in the waiting room, or the day room or whatever, but not near the beds, generally, I noticed. Anyway. But I think it's supposed to say it's midnight. Anyway, John's waiting. Father Perez comes round and he says, "Where's the doll?" And says, "What doll? Not what doll? Where is she?" He says, "Oh, the doll." And he says, "I don't know." I pressed a button. Sorry, hang on. There we go. Right. Actually, I thought it was night time. Can't be midnight then. It must be midday. I thought it was midnight. It must be midday then, because they're still at home. Because it's daytime out there, isn't it? But it's trying to get Leah to go to sleep and settle her down, and only Evelyn can settle her down by singing, "We gonna rock that baby all night long," or whatever. There we go. They get a view of the apartments. That's the apartment of the Forms up at the top. Don't know who lives in the other apartments, but whatever. I mean, I thought she lived. Where is she? I thought Evelyn lived there as well, because we saw her by the mailboxes, didn't we? And I thought she was getting a mail, so I thought she lived in one of them apartments, but apparently not. I don't know. But anyway. Right, so they're having a little chit-chat. They've settled the baby down. Oh, she's asking about her daughter. How did her daughter die? And she said it was a car accident, and driving back from her parents. And she said she was tired. I'm wondering if she'd been drinking. I don't know. It's kind of hanging in the air. I don't know. But she blames herself. She said last thing she remembers is looking over and seeing her daughter asleep in the passenger seat. Presumably, well, she said because she was driving. Seen her daughter asleep, and then she'd grown into a beautiful young woman, and then she woke up 3 weeks later and the daughter had died. So she blames herself. But anyway, so there we go. Didn't get a chance to say goodbye. Right, so they're all bonding. He wakes up now and says, "Where is it? The doll, the evil. It wants her soul," and all that stuff. And he says, not Leah's, obviously Mia's. So he gets on the phone. He phones home like E.T. Here he is phoning home. And then, true Amityville Horror style, as he's phoning, static. So you can't hear what he's saying, and he's saying, "Get out of the house," and all that stuff. He said, I'm coming home, but get out there, or whatever. But that's him. True Amityville Horror style, when they try to phone the priest in that, they get all, or the priest tries to phone them, they always get static on the line, don't they? So it's just like that. Right, so he's on his way. Anyway, then there's a knock at the door, and she looks out and sees Father Perez there. But obviously we know he's in hospital, so it's obviously not Father Perez. So she opens the door, obviously. He's not looking at her. That's a warning sign, isn't it? For a start off. She's saying, "Father, are you all right?" And then she puts her hand on his shoulder, and then he does, "Hey, God have mercy on your soul," in a scary face. He screams it, by the way. Screams just like that picture there. You can't see it, never mind. Screams that, and she stumbles backwards, and the door slams. Then all the stuff starts switching on, and going to get the baby. The baby's disappeared. We hear the baby crying, and she goes running in to the nursery. No sign of the baby, but all the dolls have been corrupted. Hang on, let's see if it shows any of them. There we go. All the dolls have been mangled in some way. There you go. All been done in. It showed them having fun. Breaking all the dolls in the behind the scenes thing on the Blu-ray, melting them and putting hot glue on them and stuff like that. They even have one of the dolls eating its own hand. I don't think we see that one though, do we? Have a look. No, it's not showing it. Anyway, then Evelyn says, "We've got to get out. We'll go over to my apartment." Maybe she does live there. I don't know, but anyway. There you go. "We'll use the one in my apartment." Yes, she must live there. For the phone, she said the phone's not working, and so she says, "No, I've got to save my baby." Then the demon appears, Up above, here it comes. Are you ready? In a minute. There it is, and it drops down and kicks, does a kung fu kick. Evelyn out, and the door slams, obviously, and then it disappears because they do. So now what's she got to do? She's saying, I want my baby back and all that stuff. She said, what do you want from me? There's Annabelle. Annabelle's back. There it is. She says, there you go. What do you want from me? And then she goes into the nursery. We see a crayon come rolling out, so she knows that's where she's to go. In the nursery, we see up on the ceiling, her soul. That's what the devil wants, her soul. And written in crayon, obviously, because we've just seen the crayon. So saying you can't have her soul, etc. So she tries to smash up the doll. She says, you're not having her. She starts smashing the doll. Look, and a little porcelain doll, made of sterner stuff. Don't break. And then she looks over and she sees, there we go, hang on, is it this bit? Because you can see there, hang on, she hears a noise and you can see there's just like a rag there. But I think when we look again, there we go, it's just transformed. Gee, let's go back again. There we go, it's all in one shot, isn't it? I've just noticed, first time I've noticed this, just a rag on the floor, but then when she covers it up and then go back, a baby. I didn't actually notice that before. I wasn't paying that much attention. Anyway, she runs over. She thinks it's Leah. Nothing sadder, is there, than seeing an inert, baby's form. But speaks up. She's screaming, obviously. Leah, oh no! Apparently, she screams Leah 89 times. I think it's 89. That's in my notes. Where are we? Mia shouts Leah 89 times total throughout the film. So had somebody counted it, they must have done. Or maybe they'd just gone into the subtitle file. Breaking the record of saying a character's name repeatedly in a movie. Broken only by John Boyega shouting Ray in any of the Star Wars films. Probably. Anyway. So she's saying, please God, no. But then when she looks down, there we go. It's the laughing doll. We hear that laughing doll that we heard earlier on. She looks down. It's that. Because the demons are cheeky monkeys. That's what they are. So, there you go. There has to be another way. And then it says written, your soul on the window. So obviously it wants her to throw herself out of the window. So I'm guessing the Catholics, so in the Catholic faith, suicide's a mortal sin and you'll not go to heaven, so that's, pardon me, that's what it's on about there. I've just noticed that as well. I've just noticed that picture there being changed, hasn't it? I'm guessing it wasn't like that before. Anyway, getting chills again. Here comes Alfred to try and sort stuff out. John's coming back as well, so she's getting ready to throw herself out the window, basically. They go running in. Mummy's coming to save you, so she's going to, chuck herself out the window. John comes running up the stairs. Why did he take the elevator? Don't know, but he's running up the stairs. 6 floors, for Christ's sake. So there you go, she's going to knocks the door and goes in there. It's the only way, she says. Look after Leah. You promised earlier on that you would look after her if something happened to me. And he's saying, no, don't do it. Think of Leah and all that stuff. And she's going to chuck herself to her doom, but he doesn't. He grabs hold of her and pulls her back in. There we go. Stops. And Evelyn's saying, no, a daughter needs her mother. And she says, there must be some other way. And then Evelyn decides there is another way. She's got nothing else to live for. This is her purpose in life. So she chucks herself out the window with the doll, with Annabelle. I learned that from Constantine and the Order. I forgot what I said. Because there's a delay, isn't there? The trouble is there's a delay with bloody chat, and by the time you type something, I've forgotten what I said already. Trying to think back now what I've said. Anyway, never mind. Right. So there she goes. Off she goes. Way down she goes. Plummet. So, oh no, poor Alfred Woodard. But they're safe now. The Malthus has been satisfied, satiated even. And there we go, we get a view there. So it's showing that it's, that is their apartment, the top floor on that side of the building, because we can see the fire escape there, down there. And this, is that, I don't know, let's have a look if it shows it. No. Oh no, it isn't, I thought it was blood at first, that. And I thought, it's gone lumpy as that blood, but I think it's a scarf or something, isn't it? That's blood. It's supposed to look like angel wings, isn't it? The blood that's behind Evelyn, it's angel wings. So maybe the devil didn't get his soul. Maybe because she sacrificed herself, didn't she? So maybe that's... there, notice there it says in bloody big white letters, God honours sacrifice. So the devil Malthus didn't get that soul, didn't get Evelyn's soul. But then we see the doll, but then when it shows her again, when they look out again or whatever, see the doll. When we see, there we go, she's gone, the doll's gone. So I'm guessing Abigail's ghost, spirit, whatever, took the doll again. Right, passage of time. Everything's back to normal. There we see that gargoyle again on the outside. I don't know if it's the same one as we saw at the beginning of the film. Oh, I forgot to mention about the demon. You don't really get a good look at it though, really, do you, in this film? But if you notice his horns, like his goat horns, that they kind of come out of his head and they curl round, kind of like the curl round, and then they go back in his head and come out the front. So I thought that was cool. But anyway, what we're doing? I'm talking to Father Perez. There we go. He's asking how they're doing, and I'm sorry, but she looks astonishingly hot in this scene. But anyway. So they're doing fine and all that stuff, and everything's back to normal. And they don't know what happened to the doll. They thought the police had taken it, but Detective Clarkin has no record of it anywhere. So they don't know what's happened to the doll. It's disappeared. It's vanished. Anyway, I almost forgot the photo that he took earlier on. There we go. Obviously, he took it. The camera was, landscape, but that's obviously a portrait photo, isn't it? But never mind. Maybe he cropped it. And I thought it was just showing them it because it's supposed to go on the bulletin board. Maybe he's got another copy. I don't know, but they take it with them. Oh, thanks. But there you go. So anyway, they live happily ever after, I'm guessing. And then we pan up, and then there we go. Then we cut to. We do a white out, whatever. Fade to white. Then we're in a shop. There we go. I'm trying to find something for my daughter, who's a nurse, it says. It says, I'll buy this horrible, disgusting doll. It says, it's quite expensive. And there we go. Told you, there's a Raggedy Ann in the background. There it is. Anything else, I wonder, of interest in the background? Not that I can see. But there goes a Raggedy Ann doll in the background. A real Annabelle. And he says, I'll have that. So she buys that. And that's how the film ends. You want me to ring it up? And she says it's quite expensive for a scary, bloody haunted doll. But that's it. Oh, no, I forgot. Then we cut to the Warrens, whatever you want to call it, museum, whatever, storage, safe storage, I don't know. But there we see Annabelle in their case with the sign that in the real one we saw earlier on, didn't we? It's at the bottom, isn't it? But anyway, so there we go. There we go. The threat of evil is ever present. We can contain it as long as we stay vigilant, but it can never truly be destroyed. And we learn that a priest comes twice a month to bless the box or the case that Annabelle's in. I don't know if that's still happening because they're long gone, aren't they? Have they got kids? Probably. So there we go. And that's the end. That's the end of the film. There we go. And I really like it. I really like the Annabelle films. I think they're miles better than the Conjuring ones, which I'd never cared for. I didn't mind the second one because I was more familiar with that story, the Enfield Poltergeist, even though it was nothing like the real life story. But anyway, whatever. They need to put in that goo from Warehouse 13. I've never seen Warehouse 13. Never got round to watching that. Should shoot the bugger into space. Get Elon to Elon. We've got this haunted doll. Can I put it on a space thing and just Just send it into space. Fire it into the sun. Anyway, so there we go. So that's the end of Annabelle. Cool film. Give it a whirl. It's a great film. I really like it, and I like the sequels as well. Actually, the next one's a prequel, isn't it? Annabelle Creation, which was directed by the fella that did Lights Out, which is probably why it's good. But this is good as well. Telling about how the doll was made, and we learn about young Annabelle Higgins, who wasn't called. I think spoilers. The Higginses adopted Annabelle. Anyway, so according to that film, and then there's Annabelle Comes Home, which I've seen. Obviously, because I've got it there, but I can't remember what happens in it. I've forgotten. Anyway, right. So that's it. We're all done. Annabelle versus Jason. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? Saying that, she doesn't do anything. She just affects things, doesn't she? She's got a demon or whatever hovering over her shoulder all the time. Anyway, right. So we'll leave it there. We're all done and dusted. I shall remove that. Right. So we'll leave it there. As I said, give it a go, Annabelle. I don't know why it got bad reviews, because I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think it's a decent, scary-ish film. It's not the scariest film ever made, but it's got some nice jump scares, and it's well made, and it looks nice. It's not gory or anything like that. You see some blood, but it's not like super gruesome, is it? It's not like stuff that make you go, eee! I think it's better than people think it is. So there. Right, so we'll leave it there. What's coming up next on what day are we on? Not on Friday, we're on Saturday, aren't we? Tomorrow I'm recording. Fingers crossed I will be, anyway. That's my plan. I'm going to be recording me Friday the 13th for next Friday. And then obviously, hang on. Next Friday's appointment with Fear is, because it's episode 100, is The Exorcist. So I'm going to have fun rewatching that. Scares me to death, does that film? So I'll be rewatching that and the special features and all that stuff. Horror reviews are never accurate, to my opinion. No, they're not. I think it's still, I don't know, even though horror films are always super popular, they're like, horror films are the genre that the cheapest films to make, it seems, and they all, but compared to how much they cost to make, they always make 1,000,000 times more at the box office, don't they? They always do well. Studios always make a lot of money out of horror films, but yet they just disdain them all the time, don't they? As though it's some piffling thing, but they make all the money off horror films. Anywho. So that's next Friday, anyway, The Exorcist, and Friday the 13th, which will be pre-recorded. Mondays, Magnificent Mondays this week, will be The Black Hole. What was that? Did I see a little bug there? The Black Hole. Disney's The Black Hole, one of my favourite films of all time. I love this film. So that's on Monday. I can go away now. There we go. Have anything else here? No, I haven't. Right. I'm just thinking of it. What else have I got to go? I forgot. Have I got anything else arranged? Exorcist. Done Annabelle. On The Black Hole. I think that's it. That's all I've set up so far. And I have to do Friday the 13th. Right, so I haven't decided after that. I've got a list. I've got the list here. I've got my folder. With my films, my list of upcoming stuff, but I haven't decided what I'm doing yet. Right, so we'll leave it there. So don't forget, hang on, there we go, put that back up, there we go. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all that stuff, if you liked me stupid voice droning on about a film. Subscribe. Let's get over 1,000 subscribers, and I can start earning a bit of ad revenue. Not that I will, but never mind. all that stuff. And go over to Windgrace's channel and subscribe to him as well, and join and become a member of his channel as well. There's some amazing videos and some great AI stuff, songs and stuff like that. It's really good, really, really good. And also, regular videos as well, and all that jazz. Right, so we'll leave it there. Stop waffling. What time is it now, anyway? Blimey, I'm getting hungry now. But I think Aidan's asleep. He does nothing but sleep. Since yesterday, he's done nothing but sleep. Since his little procedure he had. But he'll wake up at like middle of the night now and keep me up. Anyway, whatever. Right, so thanks. They don't do well. Well, they should do, because they're really good. Particularly that Wayne Empire or whatever. Wayne Empire. The Wayne Empire. That were a good one. That. Right. So anyway, we'll leave it there. So I'm sure I've forgotten something of vital importance. I can't remember what. Anyway, I'm sure I'll do another Far Cry 4 video. Maybe tomorrow. It depends. But we'll see. Right. And I'll swear and stuff like that, because it does my head in, does that game. And I'm hardly anywhere through. I've got loads to do, but I can't. It's too hard for me. Anyway, so we'll leave it there. So thanks, Windgrace. I think Windgrace is the only person we've had, isn't it, tonight? Yes, it is. But never mind. So thanks for watching. Don't have nightmares, and wherever you are, look after each other. I think I've just heard Aidan stirring my son. He'll be coming down in a minute. So don't have nightmares, and until next time, I'll say